Welcome back to SL30 Aquatics. Today we're going to take the sponge filters from last week and put them in the tank. So jumping straight in with it, we've got the fry tank or shrimp tank filter here. We're going to connect the airline from our air pump to the little valve at the bottom of the uplift tube. If you didn't see the video last week, I'll leave a link in the top corner. Then we need to wash off the sponges, as I mentioned in last week's video. We're just going to dunk them in the bucket a few times and wring them out. My airline that I use is a bit big, but if you've got a thinner airline, there's a second bracket and you can run yours through that. So here's the full layout. The air pump connected through airline to the filter and into the tank. So we're just going to put it into the water on the side and use the suction cups to attach it. And we need to replace any air in the sponge with water, so you squeeze it out underwater. There you can see all the air leaving through bubbles, both sponges. And now to turn it on. There we go, you can see it's running, bubbles flying nicely out the top, aerating the water and sucking in the water to be filtered. And actually fairly quiet on its own, this one. And now if you look at the bigger type of sponge filter, again we need to rinse the sponge, but as it forms the main part of the entire filter, we need to take it apart. We need to take it apart. Again, dunk it in the bucket, squeeze it out and dunk it again a few times, and then reassemble the now damp sponge back onto the filter frame. Try not to squeeze out water everywhere like I've just done. And then take your airline and thread it through the uplift tube so that you can attach it to the connector on top of the filter body. So attach the airline to the connector on top of the filter cap, as shown by my pre-recorded pointing finger. And then slide the uplift tube back down the airline tube and connect it into the top of the filter. And let's get this one in the tank as well. With this one being a much larger sponge, there'll be much more air in it, and so you might struggle to get it to sink to begin with. So put a bit of force on it and just lower it slowly towards the bottom of the tank. Definitely calling this filter Arnie from now on. Again, something that will help is squeezing it a few times under the water. This will release the air and it will become waterlogged. There we go, it's sitting on the bottom now. I've cut out a couple of minutes of squeezing out the air. It might take a while, but it will eventually sink. And there's one of the tiger barbs instantly interested in something that I've added to their tank. And again, now we can turn it on.
By the power of Grayskull,
Sorry, the camera was all over the place there. Enjoying He-Man a bit much. As you can see, the filter's on. Column of bubbles is running to the surface. These are much bigger bubbles than in the first filter, and they make quite a bit more noise. But as I said in the previous video, I'll make another video about adding an air stone to this filter to make the bubbles smaller and therefore the noise of them on the surface quieter. Click on the top video for a how-to on adding an air stone to a sponge filter, or the bottom video for YouTube's recommended video. Hit subscribe on the way out, and thanks for watching.